Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's watch party for Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome, an absolute cracking entry into the Mad Max franchise. And I'm joined today by Andrew Dalton, and of course, I'm Dominic Wallace. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
And there's Andrew. For the YouTube chats today, everyone's sync point is the Kennedy Miller Presents logo, just as it appears on the screen. And while everyone gets synced up, I will say our hellos to everybody in the chat today. On YouTube, I can see Halifino and James Hellier. And over on the Discord, again, I've got to scroll up so much, you guys. You've been chatting a storm. I can see we have Sharon, we have Lizardman888, we have Brainwire, Jedi Wizard, Mr. Furzel, Calbart, and Mad Matt, I
Eric.
may have said your name. Eric, yes. Fraglord, all of our old chums. If I've missed anyone, I am sorry. I'll try and catch you as we get rolling. But speaking of get rolling, Andrew, would you like to count us down and get this film a rolling?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So, if everybody is got it queued up to Kennedy Miller Presents on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, press play. There we go. I
So,
quite.
Andrew,
Even this score, this is another Tina Turner
yeah,
song of the soundtrack. It's great.
this score is amazing. But when did you
Yeah.
first see it? Did you see it when it came out?
Ooh, I saw bits of it growing up, but it wasn't in a regular TV rotation all that
No.
often. I I don't know if it's due to the fact. I don't know if it was some rights thing or something because of. I don't know. I don't know. It was weird. It wasn't. It wasn't sort of. Road Warrior aired a lot. Mad Max aired quite a lot, but this not so much. Like I say, this is definitely the last one of them of the original three I saw. So I kind of saw them. No, I didn't see them in order either. I saw number two, then I saw the first one. I saw Road Warrior many times, and then I saw Mad Max, and then a few years later I saw this.
Interesting. I definitely saw Road Warrior first. I saw this one afterwards, and it took me many, many years to see Mad Max 1. I don't know why.
Yeah,
But I think this is the
exactly.
one I've watched the least out of all
I,
of them.
I think it's probably. I think the original's probably the last time I've seen it. Yeah, and of course, just going to say, commenting over on YouTube, we've got the Grim Reaper Welcome and Gary, our friends, saying R.I.P. Tina Turner. Yes, that's why we swapped this
Yeah.
out for this week because we lost the legend that is. I'm not going to say was because Tina Turner's legacy will just live on. Um, yeah, the legend that is Tina Turner. So as tribute to her. Exactly, James. Mad Max has always been a more obscure, proper exploitation flick. It is quite a odd one. I like this one because it's got that little bit more kind of polish and spit than the others.
Yeah. It definitely feels more like a movie instead of a cobbled together George
Yeah.
Miller uh, shindig. Whereas the first Mad Max movie, it is kind of tough, but inspiring to watch.
Oh, definitely, definitely. But yeah, so it's the great thing about Australia is it just lends itself to this kind of wasteland because it's got so many areas that just are.
I was about to say, where else can you get this kind of landscape that's flat and barren? There is very
Yeah.
few places you can film that shot.
Oh. And this is where everybody watching this film said, "Hang on a second, that's the Sky Captain from the second movie.
He's back. Yeah.
He's back. Why is the Sky Captain attacking somebody and he's got a kid?" Oh, Sharon, you got buffering. Your timestamp. It's just coming up to 3 minutes and 10 seconds. We're seeing Max shock the hooded figure running after his caravan.
Gibson's got a pretty good run as well, actually. Like, I've been cobbling together these actors and actresses that have a decent cinematic run.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, Mel can run.
Well, I tell you who can't. It's our friend. I'm actually posting in our Discord when you talk about actors running. Steven Seagal and his run.
His weird flappy arm run.
Yeah, that's right, James. The Sky Captain's back because the acting pool in Australia is small. But equally, I've got
Yeah.
a theory about him, which we'll get into later. But yeah, you're right about the acting pool being small. It's like in the UK where an actor, as we say on many watch parties, they're British, they've been in The Bill or in Doctors or Casualty. Um, we've got actors in this who've been in Neighbours, Home and Away, and The Flying Doctors in particular.
That shot with the sun just
It's so
setting
gorgeous.
is
Yeah,
beautiful. Like, look at that landscape. It's almost perfectly just split
yeah.
down the middle.
Oh,
Sky and earth and nothing in between.
yeah,
At least his boots fell out.
yeah.
What do you think of Max with lengthy hair?
Um, I think it's interesting. He's a more savage Max while he's got long hair. He's definitely he's kind of a more savage guy, and he's we see pieces of him on his journey here. We see pieces of his police uniform that's in a much more dilapidated state.
Did you ever watch Fist of the North Star, Andrew?
I know of it. I have not watched the live action. So quickly, just to say, so the character we are seeing there with the mannequin skull on the pole on his back, that character is called Iron Barbassi, and he's the head of Bartertown Security. He's played by an Australian singer called Angry Anderson. Angry Anderson had a huge charting hit in 1987 for the soap opera Neighbours, where he sang the love theme for Scott and Charlene, played by Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan, for their wedding episode. And it was, if you're British, you'll know how groundbreaking a moment that was. And the song was called Suddenly. I love the fact he's got a Geiger counter for his water.
Just roaring off the charts.
Yeah. We've got kind of tribal music as well. And I
It's
also
a
like
lot
the
of
fact people are
clanging.
wearing makeshift hats.
Yeah. Using anything they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single Mad Max film kind of builds on top of the last without being very connected to it.
Yeah.
Like Fury Road being
Yeah.
technically the sequel to this. Like Max finds himself in a very similar position at the beginning of the film, where he's in a like subterranean culture.
Yeah. I agree with that. I don't know, I like it though. I like it that this world is so messed up and expansive and tribal and everything's strange in it, that the world is quite right changing from all these things.
Yeah. The world is moving on.
Yeah. Also, it reminds me that Waterworld, which came out a few years later, or quite a few years later than this, was almost a shameless rip-off of many elements of this film in particular.
Oh yeah, they just went in the complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
What if
Instead of no
there were no
water,
land?
all the
There's all
water.
water. I still haven't seen the Waterworld like experience at Universal. I keep
It's
meaning to.
brilliant. It's
Yeah, it's the best thing
absolutely
that
brilliant.
Waterworld has done.
Yeah, it's really good because it's really tongue in cheek. So here's the question for everybody who's watching this, I guess. Where would your place be in a post-apocalyptic civilization?
I don't know where I'd be.
You'd probably be dead. No
I'd be dead,
disrespect,
yeah.
Dom. You'd be dead unless your medication was readily available.
I've had this discussion more times than I care to admit. Like with zombie apocalypses and such, I'm such a detriment.
I'll be fair, James. I think Waterworld has aged very well, and it's not a terrible film by any means. The Postman, however, yeah.
James is saying that I'd be a radioactive mutant in the desert. I'll take it. It's better than dead. You've promoted me. Thanks, James. Yes, Fraglord. It does remind me of the Rage games from id as well.
I'm really kind of enjoying this
thing.
I don't know. It's is it music or people working on metal? It's kind of a
Yes.
melodic industrial sound, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of Trent Reznor's music in general, so that's very industrial as well. A lot of clanking of metal on metal. But it's therapeutic almost.
And it has a
That's a
great
big
look to this movie.
It does. And like you said, it's more cinematic. There's more polish to it. This is
Yeah.
very clearly an established set, rather than a lot of the Road Warrior stuff look like they just kind of cobbled together some tires and cars and shoved them together.
Well, Sharon says she'll be guarding the resources from scavengers and protecting you, Dom, and we'll have a face mask on a pole strapped to her back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with you there as well, Gary. Better world building in this movie than in 1 and 2. I don't know why. I think a lot of people were a bit harsh on this for some reason.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. I was. I definitely was.
I think it's just 'cause it's tonally such a different movie. But then Mad Max, if you go from Mad Max to Road Warrior, they're such different movies.
Incredibly different movies.
Stylistically. And again, this is stylistically another way as well.
It is very much. It's very different. Max is far more reserved in this one. He's more calculating. He doesn't act purely on reaction or chase like he does in Road Warrior.
Now we're introduced to one of the MVPs of the movie.
I would love for this to be my existence in the Mad Max universe, just being serenaded by saxophones in a tower overlooking people.
It's good to know that even after society has fallen, saxophone still sounds really kind of just cool.
Oh yeah.
Jazz, bit of it. Blind jazz man. Now, we were just discussing before this came on. I've got a theory who Auntie is in this film because we never learn Auntie's real name or her backstory. But also, she seems very out of place here. She's clearly an American in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Auntie is actually Tina Turner. She's actually playing a version of herself. She was on tour in Australia when the world fell apart, and this is where Tina Turner ended up.
Eric saying they should have used Tim Capello. He's too beefy. He'd have been manning one of the elevators while doing saxophone. Well, here's a mild linchpin in your theory, Andrew.
Yeah.
Who was I before the world fell? Nobody.
Yeah, but that could be speaking with irony, realizing that being a celebrity means nothing.
Well done.
So, yeah, that's a hill I'm going to die on.
How could you? It ruined the saxophone. One thing George Miller has never lost, and that was proven in Fury Road. God, how old was he when he did that?
Exactly.
Anyway, one thing he's never lost is the ability to coordinate a scene and make sure the audience knows exactly the motions that are happening. It's so well done, but it's something that you don't see too often in a lot of movies. I spoke about it last week, I think, with the Mortal Kombat remake. There's so many quick cuts going on that it's difficult to keep up with the motion.
Yeah.
And George Miller, again, absolutely perfectly done in Fury Road. He directs the audience where to look, and he cuts exactly when he needs to, exactly where he needs to, and it's just a perfect motion teaching technique. So many movie coordinators can take note from George Miller's work, and again, especially in Fury Road.
Well, Fraglord says, imagine another contemporary pop star in this role, Celine Dion or Mariah Carey, etc. Well, are you telling me, guys, you couldn't imagine Mariah Carey as a maniacal despot warlord?
I
mean,
already do. Every year when she defrosts to give us the
yeah, exactly.
All I Want for Christmas Is You.
No, not Celine either, Sharon. Oh, Kylie could have been good. The problem with Kylie is Kylie's about 3 foot tall. Master would tower over Kylie. Aren't you?
Diaz. Lizard Man, I completely agree. She's like the harbinger of the death of Halloween. Well, she's leaned into that.
I also. Oh, is that actually a periscope or not?
It looked like one.
Yeah, but it's a periscope that looks down. Because she's in a tower.
Yeah,
and they're subterranean.
Does it matter? I mean, it works the same way.
It maybe it works the same way inverted, but I mean, is it the same name as a periscope? Does a periscope only go up, or is it the same name?
My Latin is a little shaky, so I'm not sure if peri means elevate or not.
The problem is, I'm looking it up on the internet. Unfortunately, when you look up downwards periscope, it means you just get the film Down Periscope, the awful, awful 90s comedy film with Kelsey Grammer. So that's not an answer to the...
According to Mr. Furzle, Perry is around, and they teach word roots.
Yeah. James is saying Down Periscope is a great comedy film. But this is another interesting thing. Look at it this way. One of the things here, they're generating electricity with methane from basically pig waste. Pig waste, food waste. It'll be pig waste and food waste they're using. But there won't be a lot of food waste, obviously. And as we learn that pigs are such a commodity of the energy they generate, they're not allowed to be used for food anymore, because we see a guy who has killed a pig. But what's also quite interesting is bio plants using methane to generate electricity is a thing we're actually moving to now as one of our more sustainable forms of power.
Are you saying Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome predicted the future?
No, I'm saying it maybe used something that was on the table, a power source maybe we were talking about, you know.
It's one of the beauties of sci-fi.
Yeah.
And going back and watching these kinds of films and seeing how inspired we are by it. It's grand. Oh, Fraglord, what fresh hell is this? How could you? I kind of want to see that movie now. Mariah Carey in the post-apocalypse.
I love the fact that his collar that he's wearing there is made from a motorcycle sprocket.
Yeah.
From a cog.
God, the soundtrack is bombastic. That's probably the biggest change from the previous movies. The soundtrack is phenomenal.
And we're seeing now that Max's caravan... Now, here's a question. That's Max's caravan that was being pulled along. Is that made from wrecked vehicles belonging to the bad guys in Road Warrior? Because it looks very similar.
It does.
doesn't have a working engine, but it appears to be with the... Not his interceptor, Mr. First. No, his interceptor was absolutely totaled, but it appears to be very similar. There's some of sort of the buggies, etc., from Road Warrior, and it makes sense that he scraped something together from them.
Waste not, want not.
Yeah.
Does he have some kind of exoskeleton attached to himself? What? Wait. What is his own blood that he's... Fetch.
I don't know, it's just... It's a really good-looking film, this. It's really nicely shot.
It is.
Oh, so much pig crap on his... It is, to be fair. Just to say, where I live in the UK, we have our... all our food waste is kept separately from when our city... I mean, you'll probably know this, Dom, from the UK. I don't think they do it probably in Vegas. But we keep our food waste separate, and it's collected separately as part of the recycling by the local city, and it goes to a biodigestion plant where they take off methane gas from basically using anaerobic digestion of the food breaking down, which is similar to what we're seeing here from the gas generated from the pig waste, and they use that gas to generate electricity.
Yeah, here in America, I think we just throw it in a landfill. The score, according to James Hellier, is different from the first two, as they were done by Ozploitation's soundtrack maestro, Brian May. But yeah, you can see the DNA from...
Yeah.
God, the entirety of the Mad Max saga in a lot of different media sources, video games, comic books, films. So many things were inspired by Mad Max.
So here we are. We're seeing that Master basically, it's all about who controls resources, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes, James, exactly. This is the first two Ozploitation that hit big. This is a proper Hollywood film.
This is the first time as well in the Mad Max cinematic universe that we've had a faction that's seemingly united have interior conflict. It's normally very like black and white, where you've had the bad guys and the good guys. Yeah. Oh no.
Oh gosh.
Fraglord, what have you done? Stop feeding the AI this nightmare.
So this must be quite advanced, sort of, for where they are here, because you can see that Max must obviously have a battery that he's been able to keep charged.
Yeah. He's also learning something very useful.
About Blaster.
Hmm. I wonder if that's supposed to be a dog whistle or just a whistle.
It might have been a whistle from his dog from the first film, like a...
Because dog whistles are silent, aren't they? Well, to us.
Dog whistles are silent to us. However, it could be... I don't know. It could be like a sheepdog whistle, maybe, because I think they do have whistles that the idea is the farmer can hear as well.
Yeah.
And in Australia, again, with all the sheep, that would make sense. Oh, it's a boatswain whistle. So it might be a nautical whistle. Thank you, Mad Matt.
I love how casually the namesake is just introduced. And this concept,
Well,
everyone loves a Thunderdome.
Thunderdome also supports the Tina Turner notion because it was part of her set when she was touring.
Ooh, that's a George Lucas wipe right there.
It is. I love the fact as well that even in this post-apocalyptic wasteland, saxophone still rules.
Maybe saxophone's the only instrument that survived the apocalypse.
Well, it's probably not any electric guitars and things, particularly. Jumping Jesus!
Oh, that's true. Calbot has proved that other instruments do survive the apocalypse, as shown in Fury Road. The
Yes, however,
fiery electric guitar.
however, maybe not at this point in time. Isn't Fury Road set after this, in theory?
Potentially? I'm not sure what the
But the
chronology
Interceptor
is.
exists in Fury Road.
So chronology doesn't matter.
Let's not worry about when things happen. James Helly says apparently Fury Road is not canon. I'd say it's a side timeline. I think is the best way to describe it. Like the Kelvin verse in Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of true, Gary. It could be, Sax is very heavy on Lethal Weapon,
Yeah.
and James Mel Gibson, yeah, he is mad enough to play Max for real. Yeah.
That must have been terrifying.
And cool though.
And cool. Another
Actually
edition of
introduces it
Thunderdome.
like a TV show, doesn't she?
Yeah.
As I said before, I think rebrand Medieval Times to be a Thunderdome type event.
Oh, yes. This music kind of feels like it belongs in Tim Burton's Batman.
No, I think it feels very Planet of the Apes to me.
That's
60s
fair, yeah.
kind that 60s 70s Planet of the Apes, that kind of. I love the storytellers. This is almost a trope from medieval times that has come back in this universe.
This would be my job in the apocalypse. Bigging everyone else up, regaling
Yeah.
tales of yesteryear.
I love
Back
this.
when
This is.
floppy disks were a thing.
I love this though. With the whole, we see a few times in the films people telling the stories, these grand stories. But this is also going back where before we had the idiot box, as they call it, you had storytellers.
Yeah. Introducing plays and such.
Yeah.
Do they?
What?
Do they have a gut full of fear?
Doesn't matter. He's the hype man.
Dying times here. I do love that it's just wrestling.
It is. It is very similar. Yes, James, ITV could turn this into a game show like Gladiators.
Yeah.
Actually, at any point, do they even call him Max in the film, or is his name spoken?
He did mention it before, me, Max. I believe someone pointed out in the audience it's like the only time he actually refers to himself. But it was only to Master, I believe.
Yes, hell if I know. Australian Gladiators. Yes, listen, man. Blaster is Big Van Vader.
I might have someone in the stalls to be like, peanuts for sale.
Yeah. I like the fact the weapons there, like a big comical hammer
They got
and a
power-ups.
chainsaw. Yeah.
These adorable bouncy string things.
They're basically on those bouncy things they put children on.
Yeah. I like that.
Well, Sharon
I'm gonna
says she used to
steal it.
put her baby on that strap in a doorway. Lots of fun. They bounce around. Well, Sharon, if you had 2 kids, you could put them like in a Thunderdome type scenario.
No, Andrew, you can't advertise children Thunderdome to people. Okay, well, I'm picturing now a toddler's just spinning around mindlessly.
Yep.
Yeah, death is
Exactly, Sharon. 2 doorways, 2 kids enter, 1 kid leaves. This sequence must have been hell to film because it looks so clunky. Because basically they had to be obviously really careful people weren't getting hurt doing all this.
But a cameraman as well.
Yeah, the whole thing. Ooh.
Oof.
That's the thing as well. Thunderdome is the entertainment for them as well, isn't it?
It is.
It's not just the judiciary system, it's the...
Fun.
Yeah.
Oof. That's a good thing as well. I love how Mad Max is this larger than life mythical character in action movie history. He always
Yeah.
gets the shit beat out of him.
James Helly says, next Sunday, Andrew, will be hosting Members' Children Fighting to the Death on a Watch Party. That's our Christmas special this year.
It is, yeah. Submit your videos now of your toddlers.
Child fights.
Yeah. Oof. That's why you don't want front row seats.
Yeah.
It's like in any concert. You don't want to be in the not nosebleed. You don't want to be in the front row because the mosh pits happen there. Trust me, I know.
And is this one of the first films to prove that a chainsaw is an utterly impractical weapon?
Yeah, I think so. Because the moment you get even a drop of gore in there, that thing just seizes up. The chain just...
Gary's right. Mad Maximus. Also, I don't know if anyone else has used a chainsaw before. I only ever had one for a brief... I had a petrol chainsaw for about 2 weeks to get rid of a fallen tree. And once I was done, my wife made me get rid of it. Because she didn't trust me with it. Because quite frankly, I'm an idiot. And I had a friend who like was a professional tree feller, and he explained to me how to cut it. And he said, no matter, he said, whatever you do with the chainsaw, do not ever try and cut anything with the very tip of the chainsaw because it will kick back at you. So I never did. But it makes me think if you were trying to fight somebody and you were trying to like lunge like a sword at them, you could potentially get kickback off the chainsaw onto you.
Oof, that would suck.
Yeah.
But again, looking at this Thunderdome, this sequence, it's three-dimensional fighting.
Yeah.
It's so rare that you see three-dimensional fighting like this with height, depth, and breadth and such, and you understand where everyone is at once, because it can very easily be very confusing. I think another great example of showing three-dimensional like fighting is like the
Yeah.
Matrix movies.
But it also shows the direction's really good for the fight because obviously the fight's not just
Yeah.
working onto. No, James, my child Thunderdome will not have chainsaws in it. Yes, it did, Gary. The Running Man also featured gladiatorial games and chainsaws.
There we go. Oof.
But this is now where we see Max's humanity coming through.
Yes.
But even though Max can be, yeah, I'll kill him. If Max hadn't knocked that helmet off, he would have killed the guy.
Well, it works for the audience as well because the audience just sees him as a faceless monster, and this lesson was taught to us in what Star Wars.
Well, no, I think Mad Max could comment. They're Goonies.
Yeah. And the soundtrack just pivoting to.
And we learn even Master.
Those earrings look heavy.
Yeah. I would say of the Mad Max first three films, this one probably has one of the most coherent plots as well.
Oh, it does. Why'd you blow the smoke away from a crossbow, dude?
Because he's an ass. But now we're seeing the audience only care about what they want.
The entertainment.
Yeah.
Tina's costume weighed 120 pounds.
Wow.
Oh. What was it made of? Actual chainmail?
Must have been. You know what? The more I see her performance in this, it makes me believe that Auntie was, if not Tina, she was an actress or something. Because the way she's as much an expert in manipulating the crowd the way that the sort of the narrator of the match is as anyone.
Very much so. She has an incredible charisma.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be my job in the apocalypse. Presenting the wheel. Flamboyantly.
Oh, I love how his armor is made. He's got a hubcap as a shield on his arm.
Yeah. I love it. The silence and just hearing the squeak of the
Yeah.
wheel.
I'm not sure what one of them is. One of them says liquidator.
The gulag. So what is it? There's spin again. Oh, come on! Lazy gits.
Forfeit goods,
Death. Death.
death.
Yeah, liquidator? Does that mean you get put in a liquidator and you
I don't
become
know.
water?
Yeah, Sharon's like, I'd like to buy a vowel.
God, the Australian gulag. Yeah. No thanks.
I can't help but feel I need a cane like that guy has to,
Like a pimp cane, yes.
yeah, to accentuate points.
That's all the water he's given.
I think it's like a carrot for the horse to make the horse run.
So the Australian gulag is literally just gets sent off.
Into the nothingness, yeah, because you can't see your way back.
Yeah.
And look at it this way: eventually, he'll fall off the horse. The horse is probably going to keep running.
Kind of sucks that they lost a horse.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh. Yeah, I just remembered this bit.
I think at least it didn't go the way that one of the Silence of the Lambs sequels went, or prequels went, where the pigs eat the guy.
Yeah. I think it's, yeah, that's in Hannibal, isn't it?
Is it?
Hannibal, yeah, yeah, Mr. Furzel.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Furzel.
The
Unless
possible
that's kind of
outcomes
what they
of
were.
the wheel are, according to Mad Matt,
Well, there's no
acquittal,
liquidation. Okay.
amputation, auntie's choice, death, forfeit goods, gulag, hard labour, and life imprisonment.
I suspect most of those involve being sent into the desert to die.
Amputation, send him to the desert.
Life imprisonment, send him to the desert.
Auntie's choice, nothing the desert.
Exactly.
What would be on your wheel, Andrew, if you were a dictator of this barter town? Yeah.
Feed them to the pigs.
That the wheel is just feed them to the pigs.
Yep. Dismember and feed them to the pigs. Because then they'd become fuel, wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm. So in a sense, Liquidator was you manifesting what you wanted to be.
Yeah.
Turn them into fuel. Oh, poor horse.
Yeah.
Oh.
Poor thing.
Oh no.
So now
I
he's
love
going to cut the
horses.
horse open and climb inside to keep warm.
Yeah, at night. Using a lightsaber that he found.
That's right.
I always wanted a pet monkey as a kid.
It's
Desperately.
illegal in the UK.
I know.
and I'm not sure if it's probably legal in Vegas though.
Most things are legal in Vegas.
Most things are legal in Vegas.
I already have bones. I don't need Auntie
A monkey
Andrew's
as
choice. Yeah, I'm not sure you'd go by Auntie Andrew in the post-apocalypse.
Oh no, look. Okay, he's now ended up on Arrakis by looks of it.
Yep.
That'd be a great mashup where a giant sandworm erupts next to him.
And Max rides the worm back to the Thunderdome.
Yes. They call him Max Deeb.
Muax Deeb.
Yes.
Monkey scare.
Oh, but it's his pet monkey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, see? The monkey brought him water. Do you know what my first thing would be when I opened it if I was Max? I'd go, it's not very cold.
Go, oh, that's warm.
It's warm.
Oh, Sharon just checked the law. I can own a monkey in Las Vegas.
Well, there you go then.
There we go.
Yeah, Mr. Fuzzle, is this filtered? This gave me tap water.
Oh, it's sparkling. Oh, no, I can't.
No. Oh, it's grapefruit LaCroix.
Yeah, there's a question for the audience then. What would be the... If you were dying in the desert here and you were offered a beverage, what would you actually refuse? What is the one liquid you would refuse?
Well, going back since I'm on
Diet
holiday
Sunny
soon.
Delight?
No. There is a drink. There is a drink. I don't know.
Zima?
No, there is a drink. I believe some of my friends who've been to Disney in the Discord may have tried. No, it's worse than New Coke, James. There is a. I think I told you about this. They have a thing with all Coke products from around the world you can try in Epcot.
Yeah.
They have a soda there from Italy called Beverly, and it is like drinking lemon floor cleaner. It even tastes like it's got. They had something called Bitrex to household products to stop you drinking them. Basically, it tastes like it comes with that in it. No, not Beverly Crusher. It's called Beverly. It's a lemon soda from Italy, and it is so vile.
Crushed pelvises. Death by Snoo Snoo is how I want to go. You say that now, Mr. Fuzzle. You say that now.
That's the one, Sharon. That's it, Beverly. Some people believe it's an aperitif soda.
Oh. That's a lovely painting.
It's a nice one. I miss matte paintings like that.
Oh, I thought the lizard was crying out to her call then.
So one of the done before this. One of the children in the tribe, a girl, well, a guardian. She's one of the warrior children, who you see at one point is actually my friend's sister in this film. She's an actress called Tushka Bergen, and she's one of my friend's sisters. So there we go. I kind of have a connection to this movie. But I like the score. I like the childlike score.
Yeah, it's fun. It's playful.
That's a great shot where the clouds are going so quick overhead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you ever get the feeling that the writers of Waterworld saw this, like, few moments of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and were like, what if that, but the movie?
Yes. We are, Lizard Man, we're now in the Beyond Thunderdome part of the movie. Eric's saying, I must be honest here, I enjoyed the first part, but this part with the children, not so much. I think it's quite interesting myself. I think it's quite a nice side note, because it's always, the movies tend to be Max is wronged, and then he finds his purpose, and then he has to save them. Right, and now I'm going to unveil, we discussed this last week, Dom, my Mad Max theory that some people on the internet have. Max is in purgatory. He's dead. He's in purgatory. Everyone else is dead. They're in purgatory. And Max's purpose is to find people and help them move on to the afterlife, to heaven, basically, because they go to a good afterlife. And now he's meeting his group in this movie because he did the same in the second movie. And the character of the actor who plays the Sky Captain is an angel who intervenes in both because he goes with both sets of people to their new destination in a prominent role. He goes with them to their destination. I know it's not Life on Mars or Ashes to Ashes, James, but I think it's a reasonable theory.
Yeah, I wonder what that vinyl was. Probably a Tina Turner album.
And Max is actually paying penance for his crimes in the first movie.
Is that a Bugs Bunny doll or an Australian knockoff?
It's a Bugs Bunny toy.
Oh,
exactly, Fraggle. He's Moses. He'll lead them through the desert, but he won't see the city in the end. And the kids are giving him a decent haircut at last.
Yeah.
They're making him look more like the Max we know.
But yeah, I mentioned Fist of the North Star earlier, and it's very widely accepted that Fist of the North Star is definitely heavily inspired, if not a direct rip-off of Mad Max. But I think a lot of people acquaint it to Road Warrior because the outfit's very similar, but also he has a big connection with children in the manga, anime, and I think the live-action movie. And I think that's heavily inspired by this. Also, the cloak that he was wearing at the beginning and the more rugged look he had in the animated movie, Kenshiro is very rugged and ill-kempt. So I think they were heavily inspired by Beyond Thunderdome, if not more so than Road Warrior. This is every adult friend
Nightmare.
Going to their mate's house who has kids, and the kid thinks they're cool, so they start mimicking them every time they do anything. How many times have we seen this trope of wilderness children now? There's Lord of the Flies, Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
We've had it done in a lot of different variants, and usually an adult fixes things.
Yeah, exactly, James. So, Lord of the Flies are public school. I think it's kind of implied with these kids, or it's kind of mentioned with these kids. Effectively, these are evacuees, basically very similar from World War II evacuees. There's a plane load of them being evacuated from potentially one of the cities, because isn't it supposed to mean there's been a nuclear war in certain cities in Mad Max?
I believe so. But how many times have we seen a kid civilization that kind of works rather than is on the decay or sacrifices people? That tends to be what the kids do. But here they seem pretty all right.
Yeah, Gary, Peter Pan. It's about like the Lost Boys concept. Yep, exactly. He helps people. He helps everybody out of purgatory, Sharon. Not just he helps the groups of people who need to be saved from purgatory. Because we saw in Road Warrior, he helped people who were worthy of being saved.
This is some very adorable world building. I don't think I appreciated this much when I was younger,
Yeah.
but this
I,
is
th-
lovely.
I think the thing to remember as well is that maybe a lot of people aren't thinking about at this moment here is these kids they were dumped maybe at, we don't know how young some of these were dumped. I mean, some of the youngest ones were probably babies when they were dumped. And then the older ones would have been maybe only 7 or 8 years old and they had to fend for themselves. So imagine that if children who had only had that level of upbringing by an adult, they'd have to kind of finish off their language development and social skills and everything themselves. And it'd be bits that kids understood where you don't really understand it.
Yeah.
It's not nurture versus nature. It's half nurture, then thrown to nature.
Yeah, got to cobble together the rest.
Mm.
I really like the language, the slight variation on certain words.
Dom, I think you do need a monkey to sit, like, eating snacks during a watch party on your shoulder. Yes. Okay, guys, let us know if you want us to get Dom a monkey for another watch party to eat snacks.
I have to run this by my wife first. I can't just get a monkey. You can't peer pressure me into it.
It's fine. It's fine.
Tomorrow Land.
Hell if I know, Dom's already got a puppy.
Exactly. Wait, Mrs. Parker?
Walker.
Oh, Mrs. Walker. Oh. Actually, you got a point there, Sharon. The monkey could walk bones. Oh, James, why would you give me joy? Why would you give me the monkey from Monkey Shines? I'm not an invalid.
So it sounds very much like an evacuation.
He looks like Guts from Berserk in that picture.
We're seeing Max looking the closest to his kind of traditional look there, where he's got his bit of shoulder armour.
Yeah. Nah, that's a fancy cap.
Yeah.
Well, Lizard Man, I guess if you're here, like, all of your life, you get pretty good at doing something, so they just
Yeah.
asked the artist in the group to hurry up and paint him. Come on then, Andrew. What would you do in this situation? Would you live there as a god among the children, or would you be honest with them?
I don't know. Actually, it's a hard one. It's genuinely a tough one. If I could give I give some comical answer, but being serious, I don't know which way I'd do because you've got a hell of a responsibility on them. They're looking for a leader.
Yeah. Pocky clips.
James, I would not start Child Thunderdome immediately.
Immediately. Right, some new rules are going to be put in here. Here's a dome. You fight.
That is a cool hat, the way, because it's made from a bird with the wings. It kind of flies.
I Was there a fishing line attached to that, and did someone just reel it in real fast? I'm curious to how they did
I think
that.
it's because they live like in between cliffs or something. It's the wind caught it.
Yeah.
Oh, and they've got a
I'm
glider
not here to help
as
you
well.
fly.
Got a
Suddenly
kite.
everything starts flying.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me. I'd go in there, I'd be honest. I'd be like, yeah, nah, I'm not here to lead you. And I'd accidentally do stupid things like this that would make them believe
Dom, you'd be dinner
Life of
within a few
Brian.
hours, mate.
They'd eat me
Yeah, yeah. They turned to cannibalism.
in a place that hasn't known cannibalism. They'd
Yeah,
suddenly just decide.
yeah. On a one-off.
Hadn't thought about it before, but let's eat him.
Yeah.
Are you saying I bring out the cannibal in people?
Possibly. Again, it's really nicely shot, this. It's so well shot.
Yeah. It is definitely beautifully shot.
Yeah.
Is that the pale kid, the one from Fury Road?
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun. Dom would think he's C-3PO on Endor, when really they just thought he was a stormtrooper. Yeah, well, we know that the Ewoks on Endor are cannibalistic monsters, and they tried to eat
Cannibalistic
C-3PO.
hate bears, yeah.
My blood is chrome. Here's where the ruse would fall apart, and they decide to eat me. When they say, make it fly, and I'm like, oh, shite. Bye, and I'd try and outrun several hungry children.
The kids are looking for their saviour, though, aren't they, basically?
That's what I'd do.
Yeah. You'd be like, screw this.
Be walking with a lot more vigour than that, though.
Yep. You could reenact this in just the... Go for half an hour from your house and reenact this, pretty much.
Yeah, I could. In any direction.
In the desert, yeah. Yeah, Lizard Man. I don't think they're going to flight the Phoenix a 747, I'm afraid.
Mad Matt is saying cannibalistic implies that Ewoks eat Ewoks. They might. But they also definitely eat human. This is not up for debate. Unfortunately, there's no Coca-Cola advertisement this time, but I'm still feeling thirsty, so I'm going to crack open a cold one.
I hope
At least his
sitting in
monkey's
radiated. Hope he's sitting in a radiated water there.
That looks really lovely, actually. I'd like to vacation there briefly.
Yeah. The kids give him kind of the... Really? Seems apples grow well in this post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Yeah, everyone's chomping on an apple. Oh, James, you think I'd run into Randall Flagg? Which iteration of the boy? The man in black? Oh, wait, no, yeah, in The Stand, he does live in Vegas, doesn't he? I'm fascinated by this language. It's... I understand everything that's happening, and I'm still like, no, you're wrong. I want to correct them.
But what we're seeing here is kind of two things. We're seeing the kids are coming to the realization that they've built their hope upon this dream that's never going to happen. But also, what happens when people lose hope, lose
Yeah.
faith?
I do love that. I didn't notice that that was a rifle the kid was carrying around,
Yeah, but of course he didn't know
and
how
it's
to use
just
that.
exactly. And Max just pulls a
Mm.
bullet from their charms and literally blows their mind. Why keep a watermelon in? Oh, to blow it up.
Yep. What, in seriousness, why would you keep a watermelon in a net? Because you don't
Yeah,
want to keep the melon on the ground where damp can get between the melon and the surface.
that's
Stop it
fair.
rotting. Yeah. I'm not sure that's appropriate.
I mean, she was walking out to die. Getting punched is a bit better than walking out to death. Could be worse.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And he hesitated.
Yeah. Um.
This is less forgivable. Why?
Yeah, Max. I don't. Yeah. I don't know about knocking the teen girl out, putting a stick in her mouth, and tying her to a stake.
I guess who's going to stop you when you're the one that keeps Mr. Death away?
Yeah. Aw. Dom, you could get the monkey and take him to White Castle, and you could eat sliders like full-size burgers.
Oh, when I get a monkey, I'm just gonna all of my wife's complaints. I'm just gonna direct to all of you guys and Andrew.
Yeah.
They made me. I can't help it. Wife of mine, they made me.
She's going to pop any day now. Is that
Apparently,
inferring that the children are creating other children?
yeah, I guess.
Good God.
Can you all stop chanting, please?
Yeah.
How much can you carry?
That's a lot of order. Which one? Oh, you.
I've always wanted to be that guy in a line where everyone looks and then you look back and you're like, oh,
Oh, damn. They meant me.
Well, those guys are dead. Let's go back to our town.
Yep, let's go back and eat apples.
Yep.
Oh, Mr. Furzel. Now that's a quote, isn't it? I've not seen that. God, that's the film Desperate Measures. Saw that in the theatre when it first came out. Don't think anybody's seen that.
Is that a loud desert cat or? Every single time we get a desert scene, someone puts in the gif of them combing the desert from Spaceballs.
So Max is still carrying him. Yes, James, that's the one with Michael Keaton as the serial killer organ. Well, it's a serial killer bone marrow donor. There goes the kite. Yeah, that one does appear to be pregnant. It's even kind of more worrying as the sons of sadness eat the children.
The sand is hungry too.
That's right.
Oof. I've
Exactly,
had
Lizard Man.
bamboo.
This has clearly been a smashing success of a desert expedition. Oh no. They did lose one.
One less mouth to feed, eh?
Yep. Fade to black. Now the question is, I think this was probably really shot at night. Or was it a filter?
There's quite a big shadow being cast, so I think it was a filter.
I don't know, it's a clear night though with a full moon.
That's a good point. So it would be pretty bright as well.
Well, you wouldn't have any light pollution in the area, would you?
Then again, when you are in that degree of darkness, in that level of nothingness, light is
Oh, and it's cloudy.
insanely hard to
It's
come
very
by.
cloudy now as well.
Yeah.
Oh no. Cue the jolly music. No, it's Bartertown.
It's Bartertown, Jack.
Go in this unsanitary pipe. It'll be fine.
There's 6 Tremors movies. Oh my god, there's so many Tremors films.
Apparently, you live basically in perfection, Dom, as well.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Dom's off
Gotta
from
avoid the
Pogo, sticking down
graboids.
the road.
Yeah. It's a dangerous game.
Oh, they don't understand how the electricity works, and of course, Master won't tell them.
Hmm.
And he likes pigs now.
Never trust the guy who points at a child and chuckles like that.
Yeah.
Never trust that guy. Yeah, same, Lizard Man. It's been a while since I've watched this film as well, so I couldn't remember why they go back to Bartertown, but it makes sense. Just
We've only got 30 minutes left till the end of the end credits now.
bloody hell.
It does shift quite well. I felt it was a bit of a lull with some of the desert stuff was maybe a bit long, but otherwise. And now he brings his team of Ewok children.
See, I was going to joke when the children were there that he should weaponize the children,
Yeah.
but apparently I'm not too far off.
Including weaponizing a heavily pregnant teen mother.
Yeah,
Why not?
why not indeed?
Oh. And for those interested, Pig Killer, as he's credited, played a doctor called Jeff in The Flying Doctors, which is an Australian soap opera. I'm sure James will remember The Flying Doctors.
It sounds like they should have propeller helmets and fly around doing medical
No,
treatments.
no, they just had It had an epic theme tune as well. Yep, James, it was. It was on when I was at school too, as well. That's the one, Sharon.
That... Did he just quote Buckaroo Banzai at me?
I think so.
All of us. Is that a Buckaroo Banzai thing? Yeah. Remember, no matter where you go, there you are. That would be my exact reaction. I might have to take back what I said about Mel Gibson's running. That was not great.
Oh, yes, I would love that, Fraglord. The Muppets take Thunderdome. I've got to admit as well, can we have a little love for the people who design the vehicles in these movies? They're so creative.
They're awesome, and they make them look so worn and used.
Yes, Laser Gun Barbarian, we did quite a while ago. We did an adventure, it's not an adventure, a watch party for Biggles Adventures in Time.
That sound effect,
Yeah. Ooh.
very surreal. Get up to your back, Max. Oh, God.
Oh.
Oh.
And for those who want to watch, that is the head bad guy with his hit song. I don't know. I think in the Muppet universe, I want aliens versus Muppets. Whoever wins, we laugh.
Isn't that going to be your tagline for the children Thunderdome? Whoever wins,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
laugh.
Exactly. It works. It works. Welcome, Ms. Swift. Is that built from Max's caravan?
Potentially.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. How'd that make it so chunky?
Oh. As long as the monkey survives.
Yeah.
That monkey's a bit of an MVP. And that guy looks like he's from another Mad Max film. The kind of the narrator guy.
I wonder how quickly, as a society, we'd descend into this degree of apocalypse clothing. Days, weeks, months,
I think only a few months
seconds.
it would take. Months. Look how quick people resorted to using other things potentially to wipe their bottoms during COVID.
I know. Like I'm saying, people just have these costumes ready to go the moment the apocalypse is announced.
Yep.
They're
Yep.
like, okay, now is my time. The leather comes out.
If I was Tina Turner, I'd agree to do this just if I got to drive a cool vehicle.
Right? It looks like the Wacky Racers. They all look like
Yeah,
the
but that's what's
Wacky
great
Racers.
about them. I love just these crazy vehicles.
Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
Yes, Lizard Man, dune buggy time.
Wait, EastEnders looks like Star Trek Nemesis now? What did I miss?
Pig Killer isn't actually that bad a person despite his name, because he only killed the pig so his children could eat.
Yeah.
And how adorable does Master look in his
With his bowler hat.
in his bowler hat and his little 1800s suit?
Yes, child, they are the worst devices known to man.
Yeah. I had an alarm clock like that as a child once, and I ended up having to get rid of it because the ticking kept me awake. It was so loud.
That is such a childlike thing to do.
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, one of the writers saw a child doing something like that, or they remembered doing that.
Page 1.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
That ancient device speaks a dead, incomprehensible language.
Another Futurama reference there.
Yes. My favourite is, no one says anything, he goes, bonjour.
Unfortunately, it only converts to a dead, incomprehensible language. Gibberish.
Oh, how awesome does he look with that?
I mean, he's going to be furious. He's been dunked in pig manure.
Yeah.
The fuel of the future. Nice to see that the frying pan is still the perfect weapon.
Oh, you're giving Max a vehicle. That's where you don't want Max. In a vehicle.
That's where he can cause the most damage.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, come on, this is... it's themed like it as well! This is
Great.
the Wacky Races!
That's great.
I want the
cow car.
Batmobile dressed in cow leather. Oh,
Is he going to go, what a lovely day?
what a lovely day.
It could be the Rawhide Racer Lizard Man. But again, this is Mad Max going back to its roots now.
Rawhide Racer.
Basically the crazy car stuff.
Cow much for that one. Oh, here come the cow puns.
Oh.
Aw.
Again, these are beautifully shot, these scenes. And my God, he's pumping the hell out that pump truck.
Oh, I know, I was about to say, how is he keeping up with everyone?
And can we appreciate the great
shopping
stunt
carts.
work going on there?
Phenomenal. Like, these stuntmen, even after... Was it Mad Max 1 or Fury Road where someone nearly died? Probably both. Or Road Warrior. Probably all three. Like, why would you keep... Oof.
Oh, no, not Pig Killer.
The most wholesome man in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you were a stuntman and you were asked to go work on the latest George Miller shindig, would you be like, okay, I feel like dying might be fun?
Oh. I've got my subtitles on. It's got the names of the characters. It's fantastic. He's called Iron Bar, the guy on the front of the train. This is such a great sequence. This is so much fun.
The chase sequences are always fun in Mad Max.
Oh, they are.
There you go, Sharon, thank you. The stuntman in Mad Max 2 nearly died.
I also think that train truck is just a great sort of bit of equipment they built. The vehicle is just fantastic. Yep, exactly. My child Thunderdome is coming. Oh, he looks adorable in his little suit.
Did you just say thank you?
No. But she only wants Master because he can operate the electricity. That's the only reason she
Yep.
wants him. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh no, not him.
You should be able to smell him a mile away at this point.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Apart from that, probably burns like hell. That's a really cool stunt again they're doing.
I was about to say, yeah.
Come on.
There's another one of those legendary stunts that looks like it's lethal.
Yeah. I love the fact they're all just watching him. Oh.
Oh, there's... Oh my god!
That is some serious stunt work, isn't it?
Do you want me to do what, George?
Yeah.
3 times?
That's Looney Tunes now, they're Lizard Man. With a hacksaw. Oh no.
Oh. You can't count very well, can you? Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Little punk.
It's a good place to hide, though.
Oh, yeah, very good place to hide.
Ah. That must have taken some considerable amount of digging to do.
Good.
Actually, no, it might
Blimey,
not
yeah.
be, because... No, don't forget, bits of Australian outback have mines in them, so that could be an air shaft or something.
True. What's he reading? Holidays magazine?
Yeah, well, I suppose maybe you would read like holidays and vacations if you can't go there.
Seems more like a tease than anything.
Yep, Ms. Swift digging reinforcements. I saw it in the last movie.
That exchange is so great. It says so much about both those characters.
Yeah.
Like, the Flyman is willing to lie through his teeth just to hold on to things that he has, even when he's obviously lying. And Max, he's threatening, but he has a heart.
Yeah. Miss Swift, if you mean the guy who looks like the Sky Captain, he's not actually the Sky Captain in this. He's called Jeddah, I believe, or Jedediah, and it's played by Bruce Mann. They're not going to get off the ground. There's too much weight.
Yep.
There's one person who can't go with them.
Best chuck out the kids.
That's right. Midgets weigh more.
It's true.
That is so cool, her car, though. She's kind of driving up. And he just won't die.
Can't be killed. He's too stubborn to die.
Well, Calbot, this... You're saying same actor, twin brother of the character from the second one, or identical cousin? I believe he's an angel.
The children can fight for their space on the plane. The
Yep.
Thunderdome Kiddie Edition commences.
Yep. I believe he's an angel because ultimately he is the one who, the ferry boatman to the afterlife. Because in both movies, he takes the surviving group of people to the better place, while Max has to stay behind. Yes, that's what I think, Sharon. I mean, that's why he looks the same. Maybe I have been sectioned, James. I think it's a good theory.
It's a fun way of explaining dodgy continuity.
Mm.
I will say this movie, amongst all of the Mad Maxes, maybe apart from the first one, like you said earlier, Andrew, it's got the most coherent story. And probably because it was a Hollywood production more so than Ozploitation. But for sure, if you want a Mad Max film with a story that's good, it's really hard to point towards Fury Road and Road Warrior, even though they're the superior films, in my opinion. It's hard to point... Oh, that was some good sped-up footage.
Oh, yeah. And there we go, and they leave without Max, who has sacrificed himself yet again to stay behind while they go on to a better place.
Yeah. Oh, you get me wrong, James Hellier. I'm not saying that Mad Max is incoherent. But if you want a story it's more story-focused, pointing towards Fury Road and Road Warrior, they're not story-centric. There's this much story and plot plopped in there. Mad Max, the initial one, is plot-heavy and it's plot-driven for sure. Oh my god, he's still stroking that creepy mask, the Oni mask.
Well,
did he just flip off? Yeah, he did.
That sounds like it's really good, worth checking out. Laser Gun Barbarian channel. Mad Max Bible does really in-depth, the continuity of the films.
Nice. Agreed, James Hellier. Mad Max, the initial movie that kicked it all off, does have a pretty strong plot.
Yeah. I mean, she's trying to make her kingdom in purgatory.
Policeman, actually. Hell if I know. I believe he did. I believe he flicked us all off. That's a sandstorm. So you can see the ideas that George Miller had.
Yeah.
And then pays them off in Fury Road. It's a big desert storm set piece. Oh, it's beautiful.
That is such a cool little plane, though, isn't it?
It is. It's adorable.
Called an air truck by Transavia. Ah, but look where they are. They appear to be in Well, I don't think that is supposed to be Sydney.
Was it pictures of Sydney when they showed them in the kaleidoscope thingy?
Oh no, it is supposed to be Sydney.
It
Sydney
is,
Harbour
yeah.
Bridge, the Opera House.
Yeah, there's the Opera House. What would be your town's like memorial image if someone did a flyover and showed it? Like in London, there's the London Tower, and in New York, there's the Empire State Building. Here, it's the Sydney Opera House. What would your hometown's image be?
It would probably be the road leading up to the train station where I drove up there once, where there were a number of spice heads wandering around, high on drugs, and some rats running up the street.
So
I'm not joking.
a train station, a road, druggies, and rats.
Yeah, pretty much where I live at the moment, yeah. I live in a
Weirdly
nice
enough.
part, but about 3 miles away, it's a bit grim.
Mr. Fuzz will say the National Aquarium. For Indianapolis, probably Monument Circle. Oh, Las Vegas is full of everyone else's impressive monuments.
Ah, but look, there's power returning to the city.
Mm-hmm.
So they are starting to rebuild civilization.
And there's Muax Deeb going off with his
Spear,
hooks.
stick. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That was Beyond Thunderdome, which I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it quite a bit as well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. A little bit of a lull. I think some of the bit in the middle with the kids could be tightened a bit. But the rest of it is solid.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. And everyone does say, rightly so, it's two movies, two separate movies, and I agree. And I think that lull in the middle is such a harsh, like, snap from the two big movies that are around the lull that it might pull a lot of people out of it. But if you, especially if you watch it with friends, like we've done today, that lull isn't as bothersome because
No.
we're all watching it together, we're all enjoying it together, and the film just comes together a bit better. I think it was meant to be watched with people because I've enjoyed it tremendously today.
I think it was more of a film, a communal watch experience film. But
For
some
sure.
great comments from our friends over on YouTube, which, like Ms. Swift says, celebrity immunity stunt casting rules. Mick Jagger survives in Free Jack. Tina Turner survives Mad Max. James is saying like the ending of Road Warrior, it makes Mad Max and the story a legend, a children's story. And the children will be fighting to the death, have improved in the middle. Gary says Beyond Thunderdome is the best of the series in his opinion. More story, more heart, more world building. And Halifino says better than I remember. Dom, do you want to do the YouTube comment? Not YouTube, the Discord comments.
Yeah, so over on Discord, we have Mr. Furzl asking, who's Byron? I need to look that up because this movie was dedicated to them, so we should know who they are. We have Sharon saying, fun movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a lot as well. So how did Max get his Interceptor back for Fury Road? This is where the continuity is questionable. But yeah, some movies work better when you watch it with people. Rightly said, Lizardman, and I agree, especially with this one. Mad Matt saying, you got my Lost Boys, you got your Lost Boys in my Thunderdome. But yeah, that was Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome. What a movie. What a movie.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. exactly. Lizard Man. Oh my god. That was the whole point of the story, the storyteller with the telling and all that. They share the story together orally across generations. That's how stories do, and stories change as they're told. But it was great fun and great to watch in honour of our friend Tina Turner. Yeah, it was really enjoyable. But anyway, over to Dom, because I'm going to be leaving you all for a few weeks.
That's right. So next week we'll join you all in another watch party. This time, without Andrew, we're going a little more into my wheelhouse. We're traveling a little further in time to the early mid-90s for a small movie by a little-known director called David Lynch, based on a television series, technically a prequel sequel. No, it's not extra, not all 4 cuts, but it's just as odd. We are going to be watching the glory that is Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me, which I'm delighted to watch with everyone. Shannon seems excited. Good. I'm not sure everyone's going to be. We all know my taste is a little different. Yes, but we'll have fun. We always have fun. And yeah, James is clearly having fun already. But that'll be it from us for Andrew for a couple of weeks now. We'll have some fun
3 weeks
without him.
I will be gone for.
And yeah, we'll see everyone in 7 days' time. As always, be kind to one another, be safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.